What is the one mistake that students make when they finish beginning Greek that seminaries and colleges encourage them to make and that holds them hostage to readers' editions and prevents them from really ever making any progress? Well, in this video, we're going to talk about that, and I'm going to talk about the solution as well. So let's get into it. Welcome to the Master Biblical Languages YouTube channel. Now, it feels a little weird for me to say that because we rebranded from the Master New Testament Greek YouTube channel a little while ago, and I'm not used to saying Master Biblical Languages YouTube channel yet, but I'm sure it will come in time. In this video, I want to talk about the one mistake that I see students make over and over again, and that seminaries and colleges and professors of Greek encourage these students to make as well. And it holds students back, it prevents them from going on with their Greek, and ultimately contributes to so many students losing their Greek and really never progressing. It's not their grammar, their lack of knowledge of grammar, because when you finish beginning Greek, if you're able to finish the final exam for beginning Greek and you can pass words and so on, then grammar is not the thing that's going to hold you back. The thing that's going to hold you back is going to be your vocabulary. And this is the problem. Because students, when you go through beginning Greek, normally you're going to get a small repertoire of words to get you started. A lot of the time it's 330 words, those 330 odd words that occur 50 times or more, and that's a good starting point. And I think it's important for a beginning Greek course to teach that. But then a lot of students from that, after they've done that, they get told you need to learn the vocabulary going down to say 20 occurrences in the Greek New Testament, or 15 occurrences in the Greek New Testament, or even 10 occurrences in the Greek New Testament. And that is the mistake. As we start talking about vocabulary, let me ask you, where are you up to in your vocabulary journey? I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment in the comment section below. We should not be encouraging students to learn vocabulary by occurrence. And if you're a college or seminary professor and you teach second year Greek, let me encourage you to not require them to learn vocabulary by occurrence. Or if you do, limit it to 20 occurrences or more, and that's it. Don't go below 10 occurrences. Let me explain the reasons why. Before I explain the problems with learning by occurrence, let's just acknowledge that there are some benefits of learning vocabulary by occurrence. First of all, and most obviously, if you want to give someone a grounding in the language, they're going to need to know the words that commonly occur in that language. And in the Greek New Testament, we have this very small corpus which allows us then to say, well, let's just choose all of the words that occur commonly in this corpus. But the problem is that even though it gives you that kind of rough and broad understanding of vocabulary, ultimately it's only going to give you the common words within that corpus, and those words are still not necessarily all that common. The intention is that this allows you or encourages a student to read more fluently. But the cons are, and that's really where the cons start, the cons are that really it never gets you actually reading fluently, because you're still going to have to look up words regardless of where you're reading, right? So if you're reading and you know all the words that occur 20 times or more, it doesn't matter what chapter of the New Testament you're looking at, you're going to have to look up some words in that chapter, which means you're always going to be limited to a certain number of words that you're never going to know by learning them by occurrences. And I say never, and you might say, well, I can just keep going. Well, let me just explain that actually, no, there's a good chance you will not keep learning vocabulary by occurrence. And even if you do carry on, you're going to tap out. And very commonly, you're not going to learn the hapax. Very commonly, you won't learn even the words that occur 5 times, and you probably won't even learn the words that occur less than 10 times if you go down to 10 times. And the reason for that is that when you learn words by occurrence, each progressive step you take forward that you can mark off, that you can say, now I know all the words that occur X times or more, every time you want to go up a level on that X times, let's say from 10 times to 9 times, the number of words you have to learn goes up. So in other words, when you learn the words that occur 50 times, you have to learn 330 words. And you go down to 20 times, there's another 330 words there. But to get to 9 times, well, now you have to learn another 487 words to get down to 10 occurrences or more. And if you want to go down to 5 occurrences, it's 737 more words you need to learn to get a smaller chunk of the way there. And then to go down to 2 occurrences, it just starts to get more and more, and by the time you get to the hapax legomena, you got 1,900 words you have to learn, and of course it could be a long time. And here's the second con: it could be a long time before you actually use those words that you're memorizing, because you learn those words by occurrence, not by the text you're actually reading. Which means that if you're learning to read, say, 1 John, and you're learning the words that occur 20 times or more, you're going to be learning words that occur in Acts, which is very possibly not going to be a book that you will read perhaps for months, if ever, because you'll probably give up before you get to it. So if you're learning by occurrence, you're wasting cycles, if you like, memory cycles, learning vocabulary that you're not going to read and you're not going to therefore retain for quite a long time. So this means then that it gets harder and harder to learn vocabulary by occurrence, which means you're less likely to actually carry it on, which means that you're less likely to actually progress your Greek, which means you're less likely to retain your Greek. So the occurrence-based system is likely to actually cause you to give up on Greek rather than continue it. The fundamental problem with the occurrence-based system is it keeps the student dependent on tools. It doesn't matter how far in the occurrence-based system you go, that next level, that last level, is always going to be too hard to go do. And it's very likely for that reason that you're just going to say, you know what, I'm just going to use a reader's edition. And that means you're never going to get out of the tools. You're never going to be able to pick up just a regular Greek New Testament and read it. You're never going to have the fluency. Not only that, the outside of the New Testament, because a lot of those words, even hapax in the New Testament, will occur more regularly outside of the New Testament, which means that you're going to hamper your ability to read outside of the New Testament, be it the Septuagint or the Apostolic Fathers. So you really need to develop your knowledge beyond what the occurrence-based system is going to encourage. So my personal belief is that professors should not require students to learn by occurrence, and if they do, don't go beyond 20 occurrences in the Greek New Testament. And once they get to there, start encouraging them to learn the vocabulary book by book. Before I go on, let me encourage you, if you're getting value out of this, if you're finding this helpful and useful, then hit the like button. That helps this video get found by other people, and I don't want other people to get stuck in the occurrence-based system, so hit the like button so other people find out about this approach I'm about to explain to you. The best way then to learn vocabulary is not by occurrence, but book by book. What I mean by that is taking the books of the New Testament to start with, and then ordering the vocabulary so that you can read, say, 1 John chapter 1, because you learn all the vocabulary in 1 John chapter 1, and then you read 1 John chapter 1, and then chapter 2, and then chapter 3, and so on. And you do this book by book. In fact, if you were to do this, and you ordered the words book by book, starting from the easiest books of the New Testament and going to the most difficult books of the New Testament, and you were going to memorize 25 words a week, and you take out the words you've already memorized. That's the key, taking out words you've already memorized. So if you're in 1 John and you're looking at a word in 1 John and you know that comes up, say, in the Gospel of Mark, well, you don't have to memorize it again when you get to the Gospel of Mark because you've already learned it once. So take out the words you've already learned. And if you memorize just 25 words a week, you're going to be able to read another book of the Greek New Testament on average every 2 months. In other words, you can spend, on average, 2 months reading through one book in the original languages and then move on to another one. Now, in reality, some books are going to be longer, some are going to be shorter. For instance, if you go through 1 John, there's only 90 words in 1 John that occur, less than 50 times in the Greek New Testament, which means if you're breaking that into 25 word chunks, then really you've only got around about 4 weeks. In 4 weeks, you'll be reading all of 1 John. Then you go on to, say, Philemon or something like that. And of course, you already know, you can learn the words of Philemon in 1 week pretty much. So it's on average 2 months because you've got these longer books like 1 Corinthians and 2 Corinthians, which have a lot more words in them, which will slow you down. But if you learn shorter books first, and then you come to those longer books, you're going to find that they're going to be much, much easier to learn the vocabulary for, and you'll get full fluency as you do it. And what would that do to your motivation if you knew that every 2 months you could read another book of the New Testament without looking words up, without depending on a reader's edition, with fluency and with knowledge, and increasing your ability with the syntax, because again, I would encourage you to order the books not only by lexical difficulty but also syntactical difficulty. So what does this mean then for college and seminary professors? Well, here's my encouragement. If you're a college or a seminary professor, I would encourage you to actually get the students to learn the words in the books that you're going to work through with them in the exegetical classes, those second year classes, instead of learning by occurrence. That means if you're going to go through, say, the book of James, after you've finished beginning Greek, then get the students to learn the words that occur in the book of James first before they go on and learn anything by occurrence, because again, they're going to get fluency in the book of James, which means that when they come to class, they're going to be much better at their Greek because they have a lot more confidence with the vocabulary, which is in turn going to give them greater confidence with the syntax. So again, I would encourage you to organize your learning, your curriculum, your syllabi, so that the students learn vocabulary as they go through higher level Greek courses, so that they learn them by book that you're teaching, and and then that gives them more confidence with their syntax and their abilities generally, and you'll see better grades and you'll see greater satisfaction from students as well. Now, if you're interested in a process for doing this, this is how I learned Greek, and this is what I built into the original version of Master New Testament Greek, which we have been calling the Student Edition, which I'm about to update very soon. If you're interested in that, go to mntg.me/students and download or purchase a copy for yourself, and you can get underway with that right now. And if you are interested in learning the New Testament, we actually do have this built into the whole of the Greek Mastery membership inside the Biblical Mastery Academy membership. So if you're interested in learning Greek and learning through this approach, it's all baked into the Greek Mastery membership that we have in Biblical Mastery Academy. So that's it for this video. I'd love to hear from you. Where are you at in your vocabulary? Let me know in the comment section below. And don't forget, if you are interested in learning Greek, go to mntg.me/roadmap and download your roadmap to mastery. It gives you an overview of the whole program, the whole process, what it looks like, and so on. Thanks so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Until then, keep taking small, consistent steps toward mastery. We'll see you then.